We start the news with a story. The Malaysia government is taking steps to strengthen its venture capital ecosystem and attract more global investment. Financial cross-border approval will be simplified, making it easier for foreign investors to fund Malaysian startups. This move is expected to boost Malaysia's competitiveness globally. A stronger venture capital landscape will also create more jobs, especially in industries like technology and innovation, while helping Malaysians develop new skills and improving their livelihoods.
Okay, so thank you. Basically, based on the news, there are not detail about the specific measures that have been taken by Malaysian government, but actually in Malaysia, our current economic situation is government have been implement a few initiatives such as reforming financial regulation. Here, for example, like foreign exchange policy have been introduced by Bank Negara Malaysia, where the companies that want to provide their fund overseas, they have not does not need the agreement or agreed by the or approval by the Bank Negara Malaysia. Such like previously, the companies that want to raise their fund overseas, they need the approval from BNM. Okay, next, the signing free trade agreement (FTAs), where the Malaysia signing of the comprehensive and progressive agreement for trans-Pacific partnership, where in this agreement it will be easier for the company in local to have like improve the access to financial services in market across the Pacific. And also, thirdly, the regional financial cooperation, where Malaysia's participation in ASEAN Economic Community. This is aimed to create a single market for the region, facilitates easier cross-border finance between member countries. And last but not least, the other initiative that government made is enhancing digital payment system, such as the Malaysia-Singapore Digital Economy Cooperation Agreement, where this is aimed to align digital payment system between these two countries. So this is easier for these two countries to collaborate or like making the business become smoothly.
Currently, 63% of venture capital funding comes from government sources. To ensure long-term growth, the government is encouraging private and international investors to play a bigger role. While venture capital investment comes with risk, the government sees this as opportunities to improve strategies and governance, ensuring the ecosystem remains dynamic and sustainable. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to you live from the Putra World Trade Center, where an important economic forum is taking place. Leaders are discussing ways to simplify cross-border financial transactions.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. You are with me today, Najwa, in Finance, where finance made simple, your insight for your financial future. And I am not alone today, and here with me is Professor Dr. Elena from London Business School, will be with us in online platform in Zoom. Assalamualaikum, Dr. Elena, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good.
I hope you are fine, and thank you for being with us today. Alright, today we want to discuss on the recent government announcement where Malaysia aims to simplify cross-border finance approval to attract global venture capital through efficient fund flows. Today, I will discuss on the MNC's perspective or multinational companies' perspective, secondly, fund of flows, and also the impact to the exchange rate. While Lina here you will talk on the risks and the challenges that we will face if we want to execute this suggestion from the government. So I'll start first. In terms of the MNC perspective, of course, this was a good initiative by the government to simplify the cross-border finance and to attract the global venture capital. So in this initiative, we can see that it will increase incentive to invest in Malaysia, which is to help us to increase in the foreign direct investment. And also as mentioned by the Finance Minister, YB Amir Hamzah, that this is to ensure Malaysia remains competitive in attracting foreign venture capital. And we can also see from the imperfect market theory, where it refers to if each country market were close to all other countries, then there will be no international business. So this theory supports the idea that our factors of production are somewhat immobile. So therefore, it provides an incentive for firms to seek out foreign opportunities. And as Malaysia has its own strength, we have in terms of the labor, we have our natural resources here. So of course, this would further attract the capital from the foreign countries. Next, we want to see how this simplifying cross-border finance will affect the international trade flows. So there are basically two related factors, which are government policies and credit condition. So in terms of government policy, we can see in general that the more bureaucracy is a strong trade barrier for foreign companies to invest in local countries. In this case, it's Malaysia. So we can see that when this bureaucracy is removed, it will create new opportunities and more opportunities for MNC to increase their investment in product and services. Secondly, in terms of credit condition, where this factor suggests that when credit conditions become more restrictive, banks are less willing to provide financing to MNC, and therefore corporation will reduce spending and further weakens the economy. So this situation will have the counter effect if the bank are willing to provide financing to MNC, because this cross-border finance are become easier. So it will make the corporation will increase their spending and will further help the economy of that country to thrive. And last but not least, we want to see how this government initiative will have impact on the exchange rate. Firstly, we want to look at the graph here. We can see how the demand for the quantity of foreign currency will increase while the supply remain constant. And therefore, this tells us that the foreign currency will appreciate and our local currency will depreciate. However, we want to understand it correctly, which means that when the local currency becomes depreciated, it doesn't mean that it is not good. It will reduce the financing cost, and the Malaysia export will increase and the import will decrease. And lastly, it will also make the borrowing and spending increase in our country. And therefore, these all three factors that will happening, this process that will happening will make the Malaysia economy to grow or increase in the future. So that's my take on this issue. I will pass to Lina. You can continue to give your points on this initiative.
Alright, thank you Najwa for the question. But before we go deeper with the challenges and the risks, I would like to compliment the government for making this effort because it's actually a good initiative implemented by the government in which it helps the small businesses and startups that may have the potential to grow their business. However, we can't deny that everything has their pros and cons, and this effort is no exception. It even was mentioned by Dr. Surya Amir Hamzah that this effort could involve challenges including inherent risks. So what are those inherent risks that involve in this initiative? So the first thing we should see is the inflation of the country. Yes, it is true that when the government reduces control on policy and decrease the interest rate, it can lead to economic growth of the country, because all this effort could increase the employment rate and borrowing and spending. But then we need to remember that this also could lead to higher inflation rate. Obviously, when we look at the demand pull inflation, how did it happen? It happens when economic growth leads to higher consumer and business spending. As demand for goods and services rise faster than supply, prices tend to increase. Then inflation rises as a result of strong demand. And when there is an increase in demand, it could cause businesses to face higher production costs such as labor wages and or raw materials, and pass these costs on to consumer. This can contribute to cost push inflation, especially if supply chains are strained or there are resources shortages. Okay, so next, venture capital. So we know that venture capital plays a crucial role in funding innovative businesses that might lack access to traditional financing due to their high risk nature. That is something that we need to agree on. As we talk about venture capital, we must agree that this is a high risk investment, as the money will be invested in startups and small businesses even when it is believed that they show a high growth potential. Still, there is a possibility of default. Having said so, if the investment is successful, the investor yields substantial return. And so I can conclude that those are just some of the risks among many others. I truly wish I could discuss this matter in more detail, but I was unable to do so due to time constraint. However, I really believe that the government together with BNN were aware of the risks and challenges and had come out with any possible way to mitigate those risks. It must be a good effort with lots of benefits rather than drawbacks. Otherwise, this effort will have not been introduced in the first place. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Lina, for your insights. And therefore, this wrap up our session for today. Thank you, audience, for your time and enjoy your time ahead. Assalamualaikum and goodbye.
Malaysia aims to become a regional hub for startups and innovations, driving economic growth and creating a brighter future for all Malaysians. With that, I'm Naufal Hadi. Thank you for watching and stay safe.